Welcome back to my Rug Hook and Talk show. Okay, my name is Annette. So for those of you who are just catching us, we're a solo lone hooker cyber rug hooking group. Okay, it's just for a bunch of us hookers out there who are lonely and need a little group to hook with. So this is what this is all about. And welcome. You know what? Today is a special day. I'll tell you what it is. Let's see. Let me grab I'm going to light my candle. There's a little mood lifter here. There we go. Alrighty. And for those of you who have not seen this, I've showed it in one of my earlier videos. I don't know if you could see what it's doing. Okay. This changes color. It's very cool. So I like it because it just adds to rug hooking. Come on, it's got colors. This is so neat. So you can get these off of Amazon now. I got them at Walmart a while back with some coupons for like $2 and gave them all away. They do scent. This one's apple cinnamon, but there's lavender and chamomile and some really nice scents. But this, I think it's like $8. I know there's going to be shipping, but if you spend over $35 on Amazon, you know the whole spiel, you get it for free. So we went and ordered a whole bunch more and also gave them away as gifts because everybody we knew who we gave them to loved them. So yeah, we had an order and everybody got some more. Okay, so this is in honor of, let me see if I can get this straight because I've been trying to get the abbreviation. The International Guild of Rug Hooking. This is their international, I guess, hooking day. This is their 20th anniversary. And so this is our hooking. This is our hooking episode. How cool is that? We're hooking on the hooking. So go ahead. I made some ginger snap cookies yesterday. These are awesome. We got the recipe off the internet for anybody who's interested that likes gingerbread. We're like big gingerbread fans, good rich buttery gingerbread. But these are ginger snaps. They're not really snapping because I kind of leave them a little soft because I don't like them super hard, but you could bake them and make them crispy. These are kind of like in between, crispy outside, soft inside. It's Grandma's best ginger snap cookie recipe on allrecipes.com. So if you're looking for that recipe, I'm just going to show you one really. They are so delicious. Oh yeah. And they're in this little vintage plate, and I'm bringing it downstairs because I just try to make my rug hooking like a little special moment. And yeah, so, and I've got my delicious hot coffee, first one of the morning. So I was busy yesterday. I did some hooking, so I'm going to show you that after I take a few sips of my coffee. And we'll go into my stash because I only got through green. Because gosh, there's so many beautiful colors, and each color you want to spend a little bit more time with. So we'll get into that more. We've gotten pictures loaded. Alan showed us his pictures on Rug Hooking Daily. Wow, that rug is beautiful. And again, I'll say it again, your sister is a lucky girl to get that. And the background is coming beautiful. I love that you use a few different shades of one color, and it's awesome. I want to experiment on a background. I want to do all different, the lightest value of just about every shade. I would love to try that. Like the palest pink, the palest lavender, the palest yellow, the palest green, the palest blue, and gray, and like a beige. And I say just mix all those strips up in a bowl, and whatever comes out I'm going to hook into my background. So that's going to be a rug that I'm looking forward to because I love using that method. And there are a few rug hookers out there doing that, and it is beautiful. So, you know, be exposed to other rug hookers and then just try it. And whatever it comes out like, that's now your style. If you find that in rug after rug you kind of lean towards one style, or you like one cut of thickness for your strips, or you lean towards certain colors, that is where your style comes in. And don't worry, like don't say, oh, it's not, oh, this doesn't look like this rug hookers or this artist, or I want it to look just like that. You can start out like that and try to achieve that. But you might find that for some reason it just comes out looking like your own. And that's a great thing. You want to develop your style, then that's how you do it. You just stick with what you like, and stick with what works for you, and stick with what feels good while you're doing it, and what looks pretty to you, and that becomes your look, your style. And, you know, I don't really have a definitive style, I think, at all. I kind of just, I like primitive style hooking, but I kind of will venture out into different directions, and eventually I might have a style, and I'm not really concerned about it. I'm just doing what I like to do, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm grateful for having my little rug hooking group here in YouTube land. So we're going to step over. I got to bring this camera over there. So again, we're going to do a little shaky thing. So I apologize, but let me just grab it and see if we can go very slow. I'm going to put it right back up over here as I did yesterday. And let's see if I am on. Okay, let's move all the way down here. I think I'm good. Okay. Okay, right over here are yellows. You know, yellows are not exactly super exciting, but you know what? They're great. They are a great color. It just seems that reds and blues and greens and purples get all the exciting. But these are my yellows, and again, when you see you have a whole bunch of these little strips left over, and if you can get them all in the same value, what I mean is you'll have a dark green. That darkest green is a value. It is the darkest value, and it has the most pigment, and it is the darkest color of green. And this would be a lighter green. And so if you can get all different colors, but in the same value, meaning the same color intensity, and mix those all up, sometimes you can just have like such a dramatically cool background. And again, you look at other people's rugs, you get ideas. You don't have to hook their rug or exactly their style, but it could inspire you to try something new and strike out on your own. And always try something new. Don't be afraid to try a look. I've tried things and pulled them out, like, wow, this is really awful, Annette. How could you, like, what were you thinking? And I tried it, and I didn't like it, and I pulled it out. And then I tried something again, and it was like, wow, I really like that. Okay, so these are my yellows. I'm just going to show you some different. This is a very bright yellow, okay? And I have, just like I said, when I bought a stash of wool, some of them came in values, you know, light to dark. And here's a very pretty pale. So this is what I was talking about. If you had maybe a floral or a leaf or some sort of, you know, foliage or something of that nature, some nature kind of thing, to throw in a whole bunch of colors of this intensity, very light, maybe all pastels. Wow, what an awesome background we can come up with. So this one's just a little mottled, you know, kind of like spot dyed. I don't know if you could see it. It has a few little different levels of change in there, but not much. And these were just, I guess, notes. Value number 7. So you see, they come in values is what I'm talking about. And that's just the level of color. And so for those of you, you know what, they're in plastic bags, yes, because of the moths. And I would love to have them out and exposed. And I've seen that. I've seen where people have their wool out on the walls. I'm not lucky enough to have a setup like that. I mean, I have shelves, and I guess I could do it, but I wanted tables. I like working on tables and being able to access things and put them out on a counter without having to move all the way constantly to where there's a little counter space. So this is what works for me. Let's see what's in this bag. Again, same thing. I'm going to consolidate different levels of this. This is a really pretty. And I guess, Alan, you were going to work on something with a bright yellow or an orange with a blue background. And yes, those are beautiful colors. This color with blue is amazing. It's just a very, very dramatic look. Very pretty. And here, you know what? I'm going to show you right now. I mean, for whatever purpose, geometric flowers, you know, that sort of thing. Here's some deep jewel tones. Here we go. Is this a pretty, look at that. So you would say, well, what would you use that for? Okay, so if you're hooking a leaf or a flower or a stem, you would cut the strip and you would hook it out, the length of it, and you might then hook another strip and start with this end next to the end that just finished that was like this and continue the blue, and then it would go into red. Or you could just hook the whole leaf in these colors just using this piece, and it would change color, that leaf. The tip of the leaf would be blue and it might go down to a red. And how beautiful is that? You don't have to do any shading or think about it. It's already dyed and the shading is in this piece of wool. So that is how you achieve that a little bit simpler. And yes, you could do your shading by using different values of color too. Absolutely, that works. So look at how pretty that is. I mean, the blue and these jewel tones, okay? I just ordered a rug hooking book called, why are these colors in here is what I'd like to know. I just ordered a book called the Hooked Rugs of the Midwest. When it comes in, obviously, I'm sharing with you, but they use a lot of bright and fun colors, and it's just, I just like the history of hooked rugs. I find it just amazing that this can still be done so simple. I mean, yes, I have all this, and we don't need all this. I just have been collecting for over 20 years of stuff, and I was lucky enough to get this space in my basement, but for many up to maybe 6 months ago, my rug hooking was just all in bins in a corner of my upstairs in the hallway, stacked up to the ceiling, and I kept it there. And it was fine. I had my books and a bookshelf next to it. So you don't need a big thing. What I'm saying is rug hooking is exactly what you want it to be. And no more and no less. It's all what works for you. So don't think you need to have a big thing. You could have a few pieces of yellow and a few pieces of blue. You don't need a big stash. It's fun, yes, you have options, but don't forget you could dye. A few dyes here in the States can color any piece of light colored wool, and it's fun to experiment. And here's some more yellows. Look at that. That's a pretty one. It's got different color shades. I mean, and yellow is a great color to perk up a rug. And here's some, these are more of the aged primitive yellows. They're kind of dulled down a little. But they're pretty. They are so pretty, and they're cheerful, and who doesn't like yellow? Just looking at it makes you feel happy, you know? And let's see what else. So I've got a lot of yellow, and to be quite honest, I've never used yellow in a rug yet. So let me grab my coffee. I'll keep moving along here to show you what I have. Okay, so this was a very big piece of wool that came with my stash when I had purchased it. It is really a beautiful color, but it is a lot. There is a lot of wool here, as you could see. I mean, this is folded over twice, so let's see if I could just, I'm going to move this just a bit. There we go. So sorry. You could see how big this is. So this is a huge piece. I mean, I can make a full-length coat with this piece. So it's that big. And so obviously this is a great piece. That could be over-dyed. If I wanted to use this color, and I do, I will be working with this color at some point for a rug for upstairs in my living room because it's brown. I got a lot of brown in my living room and gold. And I love those two colors together. Maybe one day I'll take the camera up there and show you what I'm talking about with browns. They're very warm and gold and rich, and with little splashes of other colors in between, you have a very warm living room, which is what I love. I love a warm living room, so I want to feel like I'm just sitting in it and it's hugging me. So this color can be over dyed with some browns, and you could throw purple over this and we'll tone it down also, and gray. And my point is you can get a lot of different tones, and starting with the same fabric, you kind of get the same intensity or overall color. You kind of marry the colors together. So, and this is great for primitive hooking because it's got that aged look, if you like those old country rugs, which I do. I love that. I love all rugs, but I lean to that in my home decor. So that's that. Here's a really pretty color that, let me see, it's a little messy, but I want to get it out to you because it's just want to show you what you can do with your different colors by just sticking them in a mason jar. Okay, so here you go. You know, this mason jar is a really easy method. You just take a color that you want, and you see there's all different tones of colors in here. And this, again, you could add this to a background. A few strips of this in the background will make it very interesting. As you can see, I need to do a little work organizing here, but you get the idea. But I keep I don't get crazy. You know, it's just, everything's in, all my yellows are in one bin. I'm a very happy camper. Okay, so we've got a color here that doesn't belong, so out it comes. But overall, and yes, I've done dyeing, and I love it. And I've shared that with you. More yellows and pale colors. I mean, a yellow can be so pale it's almost white. You know, it's a neutral. Here are some other tones of yellows that I keep in there. This is an interesting little piece. And I've got lots of little pieces of colors. It's like a greenish yellow. Okay? And it's very interesting. And again, there's so many different tones. Here's another pretty one. Okay? I mean, what you can do in a mason jar is so simple, and it's very contained. Now you see, if you had this piece and this piece together, you know, obviously in strips, you could see how beautiful of a background that would be. And here's just that, it's just a plain color. Now this color, again, it's hard to see. Is it yellow, or is it now leading more towards a terracotta? And I would say, you know what? It is more terracotta. So, you know, ultimately, this probably shouldn't be in here. It should be in with oranges, but I don't have oranges. So that's probably why it's in there. Okay, here's another pretty, look at that piece. Very pretty, very pretty, very aged looking. And again, just some more terracotta color. Okay, so, oh, that might have been the same one. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. Wow, so, you know, and again, if you finish a project and you have little strips left over, I throw them in a little Ziploc and leave them there, like that. And, you know, these came with the stash already, and these are, I guess people use these. Like I said, I don't do shading. It's a little labor intensive for me. But it does come out beautiful, and it looks beautiful. So just so you know, these, you could buy your values. Like I said, I'm not into buying wool. I really am not into buying wool. I mean, sorry for the vendors out there. I don't mean to offend, but I just love the hunt. I love to look for wool and then let it inspire me into making a rug. You know, I just like that. I like what it adds to my rug hooking. You sit there and you have to think a little about that end of it, and that's where the creativity can start to come in and really, you know, excite you when you see your finished product and you're like, wow, I made do with what I had, and look at this beautiful creation. Even if it's just 2 or 3 colors, you were able to work it out, you know. These are pretty though. As you can see, these are more gold and very pale. So again, this would be great for a background just to change up your background. When I started doing backgrounds in rug hooking, because I did start with yarn and I was stuck with just, you know, my yarn, whatever color it was. It was not variegated at the time. I couldn't find that. And so, my backgrounds were all flat. When I mean flat, just one color. And that's how they stayed for a while until I started to get into strips. And then Amy Oxford was selling Red Clover rug yarn and Harrisville rug yarn, I think. And she had a whole bunch of cool variegated colors like Sarah Jane has now, and Seal Harbor Rugs is coming up with variegated colors. So that now enabled you to get this very interesting background with yarn. So, but I got into that, and I start, as you can see, the variegated yarns. They're just awesome. They're awesome. They're all different colors. So you could just use one of these and not have to think about, let me get this color and let me put this in. But that's what's available for yarn. For strips, you have to, you know, either add your different values or just go ahead and dye something into 2 or 3 different colors in a casserole, like a flat dish, and you could add all different colors. And then you're just hooking off of that one piece of fabric for your whole background, and all your different shades are in there. And that's an easy way to do it too. But it also gives you a different effect. So, I mean, come on, it's so great, rug hooking. We can do anything, and it's all good because it's what we want it to be. You know, so there's no right or wrong. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. I think you should just do what makes you happy, and if it makes you happy, it's your style. That's it. All good. So that is my yellow. This doesn't have a cover on it because it's cracked. So I keep a piece of cardboard over it to keep little friends and critters out, and hopefully no little furry animals will get in there or moths. So that's my yellow. I'm going to bring it back over here because I want to show you my rug, because I finished one end to the other, and I just want to share that with you. Okay. So how we doing? Okay, good. We're back on camera. Okay, so I hook a little longer after the show's over, obviously, if I have the time. So what I want to do though is just show you what it looks like. To the side. Just release this. Perfect. Okay. So there you go. I did one end, you can see it, to the other. Try to get the look of the hooking in. This is yarn and fabric strips. Okay, so there you go. That's starting to take place, and it feels really good. And yeah, it's gonna feel nice to step on in the morning, getting up out of bed. It's gonna be right there, and it's nice and thick too. That's one thing that's nice about yarn, is that it's kind of spongy and just fluffy. It feels really good. Okay, so I'm going to get this back on and continue to do a little something here. So let's see. I'll get that up there. And start working it up. Okay, so here we go. Well, I'm glad that we're together today, because it's International Guild, or the International Guild of Hooked Rugs Day. Gosh, they have to abbreviate that. Okay. So yeah, 20 years. I'm not a member of that. I'm only a member of Rug Hooking Daily. I find I can't be a member of so many different things. It just kind of dilutes my time, and yeah, that's just me. That's just me. You might really enjoy being part of it. And go for it. I did just subscribe to my magazine again. So, Rug Hooking Magazine, which I hadn't been a member for a while. Lost it. There we go. Okay. So where are my little hooks? Okay, there they go, up there. All right. Okay, and we're in. Let's fix this right here. It's a little Alrighty. There we go. Okay, so we're working on gray over here. That's what we'll be doing. And I have to find my gray. So at the end of this, I'm going to try to calculate out how much yarn I used. I'm not good at that. I don't normally keep track, but I purchased 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skeins, which I thought was a lot, but I always like to be sure, and I could always use it for something else. Yeah, and I did this upper part, so I'm going to say, let's say, 1, 2, so maybe a quarter of the way done with the rug, and I'm not even finished up with anything. I still have it, so this might not have gone through as much as I thought, and we'll see. I just want to see also how much it costs to make this rug. You know, it's always interesting how much money I'm spending, but obviously the most frugal way or thrifty way would be to just get your wool from the thrift store. And like I said, I just find that to be so much fun. Yeah, you throw it in some Rit dye on the stove, 15 minutes, throw in some vinegar for 5, and you're done. As soon as all that dye is pulled up into the wool, well, most of it, because Rit dye, there's some for wool and there's some for cotton, so it doesn't always pull up all the, but mostly after 20 minutes, you can probably rest assured it's been all pulled up. Just have fun with that. It is just so much fun, and you'll just find like a whole new love for rug hooking and just the dyeing part. So that's it. That I just wanted to show you my yellows, and I'm expecting some books. So and my new hook is due to be here on Saturday. You get those little notifications, and yeah, so that's it. Okay, I'm changing I try to change the height of where I hook and how I sit, just so I don't, you know, get all into one place and get a little movement, because obviously rug hooking, there is no way to get any movement while you're rug hooking. Oh no. This could be a little tighter. Let's see which direction we're going to go in. There you go. Maybe that's a little, something down here is not kind of doing it for me. Oh, there we go. I didn't realize it. I didn't really pull it all that much. Okay. Now, little ball. Stay over there. Pulled a few out. Okay. Well, one came out. Get back in. Well, it's getting cold up here in Connecticut. We're getting chilly. It's 28 this morning, so it is cold. Oh, that coffee's good this morning. I hope you guys have a little something warm if you're in a warm climate, or having your chamomile tea if you're watching at night. That's always good to put your rest your brain, is a little chamomile, because I don't know about you, but sometimes